Hello and welcome back. So in this next video, I want to talk about packages and functions. So this is one important thing, especially when handling data in R. After you've set up your environment and you want to get going, it's very important to follow these steps. So packages are normally a set of functions that can be compiled code or sample data that are sorted under a directory called library within the R environment. So this is important because different packages allows us to do different things or execute some certain tasks within the R environment. So normally in programming, you will have you want to do something. This can be importing files, exporting files, doing some certain mathematical computation. You will need packages, and also you will need functions. So functions in R are normally a reusable block of code that perform specific tasks, and they help to organize code and make them more readable and avoid repetition. So functions can be either preset, for example, we will see them shortly, or you can actually create your own functions. So for example, you want to sum up a couple of numbers. One of the functions you can use is, for example, sum. So you can say sum 1, 2, 3, 4. So this means that we want to add up these numbers. So when you run that line of code, you see you're able to get 7.3. So this is 1, 2.3, and 4, right? Let us look at another function. Can be square root. So square root of 16. When we run that function, we get 4, okay? So you're probably getting in the hang of it. These functions can also be even more complex or even statistical functions. Let us think of something like standard deviation. So for standard deviation, the preset function is SD. Do that. For example, you can say we want the standard deviation of these vectors. So when you do that, you get 1.58111319. Okay, so that's basically some of the preset functions and how they operate. So next time we will look at, for example, how to create your own functions. But today our focus is on packages. So we want to look at one important packages in R that allows you to import data. So in the previous video, we were playing around with vectors, lists, and we are able to create our own data frame. Right now, we want to import data because this will be very important, for example, in your healthcare data analysis, and you want to work with real healthcare data. How do you go about importing healthcare data and working with it? Okay. So an example here, I have the dementia spending.csv file. I want to import this data so I can be able to work with it. How do you go about it? So previously we mentioned that data can be either comma separated values or Excel book. Over here we have a .csv. So that means we will need a package that will provide with us a function that allows us to import this data so that we can work with. So in this case, my library of choice is what we call Rio package. So for Rio package, you can just come here, for example, and install .packages if it is your first time, and then provide the name of the package you want to install. So it's Rio. So when I click that, so it is telling me it is already installed, so that's why it's not installing again. But that's how you install packages in R. So once it is installed, you can come here and type library. And then when I type Rio, you see there it goes. Let me just back up. You see Rio. The aim of Rio is to make data file input and output as easy as possible. That is export and importing file. Okay. So that's what Rio allows us to do. So I have Rio over there. Then I can press Ctrl Enter and just run. So the Rio package is loaded. Something else, how somewhere or another way you can install packages is simply by coming here and clicking packages. So you will see a number of R packages. You don't have to cram these packages. You will get used to them. So for example, you wanted to install Rio package, I'll click install, and then I'll type Rio, and then I'll click install, and then it will tell me, do you want to restart? So in this case, probably say just no, and then the Rio package will be installed. Okay, so that's how you install packages. So we've installed the package, we've loaded it up. Now comes the interesting part where we've been all be waiting for, how to get data within our environment. So I will give our data the variable name data, and I say I want us to import. So this import function is borrowed from the Rio package. I want us to import this file here called dementia spending.csv. Then I come at the end and press Ctrl Enter. And then when I click here, there you go. We have our data loaded and ready to start with. Great. So now what we've done in this video, we've looked at packages and we've seen how an example of one package called Rio, and within packages, they have functions. So these functions have some special characteristics that allows us to perform specific tasks. So in this case, the import function within the Rio package has allowed us to load data within this working environment that now we will use to do data analysis. Great. See you next.